Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Sports Extra for Sunday, January 8th. Do we have a half hour lined up for you? Former Falcons receiver Brian Finneran will be here to talk about yet another short postseason for the Falcons. Yes, we'll talk about that. We'll go one-on-one with Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith. Ron Hunter has the Georgia State men putting together a season to remember. He will explain why the Panthers will put their best foot forward this week. And Randy Waters reports on an area high school team that reached a major milestone this week. But we're going to start with the NFL postseason, a short one for the Falcons. Unfortunately, former Falcon wide receiver Brian Finneran is here. Where do we begin to talk about what happened today?
Very disappointing, tremendously disappointing, and one of those another early exit from the playoffs for the Falcons. Not the aggressive play calling you wanted to see, not the shots downfield that you expected. Poor tackling on defense, and another early exit for the Falcons. I think the whole team's going to feel bad for a few days after this one. Bad taste in the mouth indeed. And the fact that this team has won 4 straight years now, 4 straight winning seasons. A lot of people are upset. The fans are saying all types of things, but there's no need for any wholesale changes with this squad. No, I don't think so. I think you have a ton of pieces on offense, a lot of playmakers out there. We should have used a little bit more of them today. But you got all the things you need on offense, maybe a couple linemen back up for the future. But defensively, you can take a look at the defensive backfield and see what's happening. So it will be interesting to see what kind of changes Arthur Blank and that staff decide to make, and it's on to 2012 now. We'll have to see. Unfortunately, we're looking ahead, but let's take a look at what happened today in New Jersey. Of course, the Giants fought for the right to get into this game, beating the Cowboys in the very last week to face Mike Smith and the team. In the second quarter, the defense makes something good happen. Absolutely. Sanders, who came in for injured William Moore, decides to come up and make a huge play. Savvy veteran, gets a safety here on Eli Manning and got the scoring started off right. But Eli Manning's a great quarterback. He comes right back this pass to Nix. Attacking Dominique Franks, who was in for the injured Brent Grimes, and they took advantage of it. Here we are, the play everybody talks about, that fourth down play. We don't get it. Another 4th and 1, man. Unbelievable. We can't seem to get past that, and there's a disappointed Michael Turner, and maybe we should have been in the football game. And this is what they had to say about this after the game.
The play, again, we go through and we sequence those things, Sal, all through the week, and felt like that was the the play that we had up, and we just didn't execute it. We felt like at any point in time we ought to be able to move the football less than a half yard with a quarterback sneak.
Smitty's an aggressive guy, and I think guys take take it as a vote of confidence from him in us when he does that. And again, we just need to make those plays when we have the opportunity, and we didn't make them today.
Right after the 4th and inches play, the Giants go right back to work, and I think this play was a backbreaker, Brian. Absolutely. It's a blown coverage here. Somebody forgot to cover Hakeem Nicks, and a couple poor tackles and poor effort, and he's off to the races for, I think, a 72-yard touchdown, and really hurt the Falcons and almost put the game away right there. Big play for them, even a little Jamal Anderson. I know Jamal doesn't like seeing that. Rubbing it in. 4th quarter now, and the Giants rolling again, and this time it goes to Mario Manningham. And that's a touchdown, another one for the Giants. Yep, 27-yarder, and Eli has done a great job all year putting that ball exactly where he needs to put it. 3 healthy receivers he had today to work with, and they made us pay for it. Insult to injury on this play, Matt Ryan going down. Kind of fitting how that game ended with a sack by Osi, and there he goes flying off, another shot at the Dirty Bird. So unfortunate, and again, disappointing effort, and again, work on 2012. These thoughts after the loss today.
Disappointed in the finality of it. When you're in the playoffs, it's tough. We did not play very well. I think it's very evident by the scoreboard and by the performance that we put out there. It's not the type of football that we want to play.
It's a motivating type thing, I think. When you're in the playoffs and obviously you don't win a Super Bowl, it's incredibly disappointing. And difficult to deal with at first. But you have to move, past it, and you have to move on. You have to learn from it.
Learn indeed. Some things, some final points to take away from this particular game. Some decision-making also figured in the mix with this outcome today. Yeah, it was a tough game, and it was tough to watch as a fan and a former player. I really struggled, and it ate me up inside. It really did. I felt like I got kicked in the gut, but a lot of good pieces on this offense. Nothing to stress out about or worry about too much. Just got to go build on it for the future and see what happens next year. See what happens next year, what happens this season, but definitely going to see some things get adjusted and changed just a bit up there at Flowery Branch. Other game of the day, dramatic finish. Steelers and Broncos. And Tim Tebow, what else can you say about this guy? He is a competitor and a winner. That's all he does. He finds a way to win football games.
And what a great job the offensive coordinator did for the Denver Broncos, putting them in situations where they could win.
And that's a pass to Royal, and he would come back and he would win it in overtime. A dramatic win for the Denver Broncos as they get the win over the Pittsburgh Steelers today. And, people say what you want to about the guy. That's an excellent pass.
No question. And he reminds me a little bit of Michael Vick early in his career, where no matter what situation was in the football game, if you were within 6, 7 points, you had a chance to win. And he's just such a good competitor, and it's been fun to watch him. And he's making a lot of believers out of everybody on the football field, Tebow, that is.
Yes, he is. Next stop for them is New England. All right, going back to yesterday now, Houston, Cincinnati, the game yesterday in the AFC. This Houston team has been so strong. A couple of rookie quarterbacks, TJ Yates and Andy Dalton. And Dalton had some bad things happen to him early in the game. You're a rookie quarterback in a playoff situation, that's tough.
It really is, and when the ball gets tipped, and what a great play by the defensive lineman here for taking it for a touchdown. But two good football teams, two young football teams. I think the better team prevailed here, better defense, and Yates did a great job protecting the football and taking advantage of what he was able to do. And another good pass here down the sideline against hitting that cover 2 hole to Andre Johnson.
Indeed, a big play for him. Dalton once again comes up and he's going to find Daniel Manning. It was that kind of day for him.
A great athletic interception, and that's what you have to do in the playoffs, make quarterbacks pay when they make mistakes like that.
Then you have a guy like Arian Foster.
He is a man-child, and they're going to beast Chris Crocker right there and keep going to the end zone. Thank you very much. Well, great job, 153 yards rushing for Arian Foster, and can't say enough about what Wade Phillips does for that defensive side of the ball for the Texans.
31-10 final score.
I felt good. It took me a while to get those jitters out. The way that this stadium was rocking all even during pregame, it felt like an in-game situation. So, it was hard not to get some butterflies out there. But once I got a chance to calm down a little bit and work through the offense, started moving the ball a little bit, I felt really comfortable.
Okay, so of course, also last night we had games down in New Orleans, Detroit taking on the Saints, a wild card game there. First time in a long time for the Lions to be in the playoffs. Matthew Stafford had this team going quite well on offense. They know how to put some points on the board against Drew Brees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a shootout for sure, and the Saints are happy. Maybe we would have been better off as Falcons going to New Orleans because it didn't work out so good for us.
Here's Stafford with the pass, the tight end, Heller for a touchdown, and he comes back next time. We're going to see him hit his favorite target.
Megatron had a huge game, over 200 yards receiving, and what a great start to the football game for the Detroit Lions. A couple bad breaks with a fumble called back, and the Saints took advantage of it. And Drew Brees is so good at what he does, finding receivers down the football field and putting that ball right where it needs to every time.
Yes, he does. 45-28 the final. The Saints go marching to a postseason victory at home last night.
We're pulling out all the stops. We play aggressive. We're not going to apologize for that. We always have. I think that gives the guys in our huddle a lot of confidence, just knowing that, we're not going to pull the reins back. We're pedal to the metal, and there's times where guys are going to be asked to make plays and make gutsy calls, and we got to make them work.
Looking forward to next year, we got a lot of positive things to build on. A lot of things to be corrected, but things that are correctable. So we got some. There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Says light at the tunnel, but here's the postseason. Here's who's moving forward, Brian. We got the Saints against the 49ers. That's coming up next week. Packers and Giants. Those two games, in particular, teams you like as winners in those?
The Saints are a heck of a football team. They're playing great right now, and it's going to be tough to slow them down. But if anybody can do it, I think it's the San Francisco 49ers at home, in their home field on grass. It'll be interesting to see if the Saints can handle them. And then the other team, the Giants, going to Green Bay. Yeah, they're looking good. That front four for the Giants are going to need to do everything they can to slow down Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
AFC games, Titans and Ravens. That's going to be tough. And then Broncos, surprisingly, but they're going to New England. That's going to be a tough test.
It is. They already took the loss pretty badly to New England, and I predict more of the same for the Broncos. Although, what a great game today for those guys. A good playoff win for that city, and but I think their playoff run may end next week.
Next week. We'll be watching for that. Thanks so much for stopping by. Our studio analyst receives a gift card from Shula's 347 Grill, located in the Atlanta Buckhead Marriott Hotel, 3405 Lenox Road. Live like a legend. We thank Shula's for making our guests feel like a legend. Here's Brian Finneran, number 86. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks a lot, Sam. I enjoyed it.
All right. Great to have you here. Off to a great start for our big Sunday night broadcast. Later we go one-on-one with NFL legend Emmitt Smith. But up next, Georgia State basketball coach Ron Hunter is here. You're watching Sports Extra.